So my name is Spencer Cox. Today I'm going to show you how to use manual mode on a DSLR camera. So let's start with shutter speed. This one's really easy. It's just the amount of time that your camera spends taking a photo. It can be represented somewhere from 1/8,000th of a second, 1/100th of a second, all the way up to 30 seconds, or even longer if you have special add-ons to your camera. So, shutter speed has two main properties that are important. First off, it brightens your exposure because you're literally capturing more light the longer that you take a photo. So a really, really long shutter speed, like 1 second or 2 seconds long, will capture a lot of light and you'll end up with a very bright photo. The other effect of shutter speed is motion blur. So if your camera is shaking while you're taking the picture, or your subject is moving, then a long shutter speed, like 1 second or 2 seconds, will make the photo very blurry. The next setting up is aperture, and this one's a little bit more complicated, but it still makes a lot of sense. So aperture is a lot like the pupil in your eye. It's just a hole in your camera lens that lets light pass through it. And essentially, just like our eyes constrict when we're in very bright light, the aperture will get smaller and smaller and let in less and less light. Now the final setting is ISO, and this isn't actually a part of your exposure because it doesn't affect the amount of light that reaches your camera's sensor. Instead, it just brightens the image that you do capture, very similar to if you just brightened the photograph later in post-processing. So that's how you shoot a manual exposure with a DSLR camera. I hope you found this tutorial useful.